Hello, and welcome to another episode of Parenting Powerhouse, where we empower moms to navigate the unique journey of raising neurodivergent children. I'm Tara Travell, and today I want to do something just a little different. I want to share a deeply personal story with you. It's my story. So, for the past 30 years, I've had the incredible, sometimes overwhelming experience of raising a neurodivergent daughter and now an autistic teen grandson. My journey has been a tapestry of challenges, triumphs, and countless lessons in resilience, patience, and love. I'm preaching to the choir, right? So, you see, insights and strategies I share with you aren't just theories or academic knowledge. They're really born out of real life experiences, my real life experiences. I share the highs and lows, the moments of doubt, and those incredible breakthroughs. And recently, a parent in my course asked me, "How did you come up with all of this great stuff for us?" And I told her, "I'm sharing my life with you. I'm sharing all of the things I've learned and used to be successful." So, this condensed version of all the positive aspects of my own journey are just packaged neatly so that you can make your transformation in far less time than it took me. Because I know firsthand how easy it is to just fall into the trap of comparison. There were countless times when I felt so disheartened watching other kids hit milestones that seemed out of reach for my daughter or grandson. But here's the truth. Comparison is the thief of joy. Our kids have their own unique timelines, and it's our job to support and celebrate their individual journeys. And that's what I'm here to help you see and unlock. So today, the reason why I'm here is I just decided to record this episode because I'm sitting on my back deck, drinking my morning coffee, listening to the birds, and trying to set my intention for the day. Well, this past week has been weird and crazy, not just in my own personal space, but all over the world. I think a lot of people are feeling it, and I personally am feeling emotions jumping all over the place constantly. I feel so disorganized in my own thoughts and my own emotions, and it's just got to be from all this crazy stuff going on this week. So I thought, well, how can I set an intention without some reflection? And thought, why not just share my story? Because not only do we all have a unique story, but we all like to feel connected by hearing others' story and finding hope. So, for those of you who are new to this show, I've spent the last 30 years parenting my neurodivergent daughter and now my autistic teen grandson. So, my journey has been filled with both challenges and triumphs, and it's taught me so much about resilience, patience, and the power of unconditional love. That unconditional love is really with myself, with yourself. And I know that I may not be a perfect parent, but I am a real one. I struggled immensely with grief and had to mourn the facts that my daughter was not on a similar trajectory as typical people her age. I didn't know shit back then about autism, ADHD, and how to approach it cognitively. So I relied on professionals, the therapists who put her on medications for anxiety and depression, and others as they constantly adjusted her diagnoses. They were the experts, right? Now I know a whole lot more after trying so hard to fit her into this box that society built. It just was never going to be right for her. And at that time, I didn't know it. I followed the experts' advice. I did everything I could. I learned everything I could. But the damage was really understood when she became estranged from me and I lost complete control. It took me years of battling the shame and the guilt, complete chaos in my own well-being. I read so many books. I joined so many Facebook groups to try and understand what I did wrong. And all of that stuff it didn't help. It actually sometimes made me feel worse. But then when I realized it really wasn't me intentionally, then I was able to begin this healing process. And I started out with essential oils to smell and to try to make me feel calm and to help me in that way. I learned Reiki. I started to create affirmations. One thing I found is being in nature as much as possible really helped. And it was all helping me a little. But I was also self-medicating by having a glass of wine or two every evening, maybe a cocktail in the evening. And I figured, this was harmless. It was a great way to relax my way at the end of the day. Well, after years and years of doing things this way, I had a wake-up call when my blood work results came back and the effect of the alcohol in my body was scary. I mean, if you looked at me on paper, it looked like I was ready to have a stroke. So I immediately, because I was scared, immediately stopped that daily glass of wine and worked hard just on my nutrition. Kind of let everything else go away, worked on myself, worked on my nutrition, and exactly 1 year later, all of my numbers were within very good normal limits. Like not just better, they were all within great normal limits. And so from that day on, then I dove deep into self-empowerment. I became a Reiki practitioner for my own health. I began to connect with nature in a way I could heal and feel just rejuvenated. I learned how to set intentions and create affirmations that actually uplifted me daily, that I actually started to believe in. Okay, so this was years, but my struggles have transformed into success, and now I'm sharing that with any mom who is ready to take that next step. I have packaged all of the things that led to my transformation, condensed so that when I pass it on to you in my course, you will see results in weeks rather than months or years. So, for just a quick moment here, I'm going to put on my professional hat because I want to let you know I have dedicated the past 20 years to teaching social communication strategies and coaching families. I have helped hundreds of learners feel more comfortable in their own skin, build their self-esteem and self-awareness so that they can live a more fulfilled and actually an independent life. I have pivoted since then to give parents guidance to progress with more confidence as they learn new ways to support their children and at the same time feel good about themselves as a more regulated, more confident mom. I have to tell you, probably one of the most important lessons I've learned is that comparison is truly the thief of joy. In our society, around us all the time, at work, at home, even within our own family structure, there's a constant pressure to meet certain milestones and timelines. But when you have a neurodivergent child, those societal timelines they often aren't right. They don't fit. They don't fit, our program. And, I remember countless moments of frustration, seeing other kids seemingly breeze through developmental stages while my daughter and even my grandson struggled. It's really easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We do it all of the time. And every day, actually, we could probably find so many times that we make comparisons and it's thieving our joy. And it really undermines that progress our children are actually making. We don't really see it. It's hard to see anyway. Instead, you know what I've done? I've learned to follow my own kids' timelines, my timelines, because each child is unique and develops at their own pace. And when we focus on their journey rather than comparing them to others, we actually create this supportive and this nurturing environment that we just can't seem to reach otherwise. And then they begin to thrive. And you know what? It just happens. It almost happens seamlessly once we really connect with these concepts. So honestly, if you're feeling overwhelmed or sometimes disheartened, I mean, that comes with the territory anyway. But there's no reason to struggle. There's no reason for this to be painful or to be in survival mode at all. Things should be a little easier, finding our way to make it easier, not learning tons of new tips and tricks and strategies. No, creating our own along the way, just making it easier. Remember, you're your child's greatest advocate, right? And supporter. So embracing their uniqueness, being able to really confidently do that, and just celebrating small victories along the way is what really counts. It's really not about fitting into society's mold, but just about helping your kid become the best version of themselves. Isn't that what we really want? Because if they can become the best versions of themselves, that means they're comfortable in their own skin and they are becoming independent confidently. So I really want to thank you for pushing play and joining me today. My hope is that by sharing my story, you'll feel a little more connected and a lot more empowered. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please feel free to reach out. And don't forget to follow, because you will hear more empowering stories and experiences in the future. So until next time, remember, you are powerful, you are capable, and you are not alone on this journey. I love you. Take care and keep thriving.